Formula 1 turned to Britain now for the 12th round of the 2019 Formula 1 World Championship. And of course, as it's the home of many of the teams, it would expect that three teams that were all based in the UK brought upgrades to Silverstone, as of course it being its local race. Red Bull, Renault and McLaren were those three teams, as they bid to get closer to Ferrari and Williams. Although, in McLaren's case, it's actually trying to get closer to Renault and Red Bull. They have been the slowest of the Renault-provided teams, but lagging back with Carlsberg, BMW and the Renault's work team on lack of footing. McLaren feel that they need to do more upgrades to be able to close the gap and get more points in the championship. Red Bull were looking for victories as well, having not secured one all season. They were hoping that their main driver Verstappen or their secondary driver Van Dorn, who were both race winners in the past, could actually get the victory. In terms of Renault, who came close in Monaco to winning a race, they hope that their upgrades will see them through to the rest of the season. Hopefully will bring them a race victory, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later, maybe even at the British Grand Prix itself. Because moving to the grid for today's British Grand Prix, it is Nico Hülkenberg who took pole. Coming right at the end of the session, Sergio Perez though is alongside, so expect Perez to go past at some point with that engine. Peter Hartson starts P3 and Lewis Hamilton makes an all British front second row, only 1,000th of a second slower than his fellow Brit. Pierre Gasly starts P5, happy with the result but would like better. Daniel Ricciardo, of course, having his swan song for McLaren, he starts P6. Stoffel Van Dorn is 7th, and Charles Leclerc, the championship leader, is disappointed with qualifying. He starts only down at P8. Max Verstappen starts P9, and Sebastian Vettel, a rare visit these days of the Mercedes driver, into the top 10, although he may likely fall outside the top 10 during the race. Carlos Sainz lines up outside top 10. Kevin Magnussen ends his streak of good qualifying performance inside the top 10. Qualifying 12th. Bottas starts 13th, ahead of a good result for Antonio Giovinazzi. He starts in 14th. 15th was Kimi Raikkonen, and 16th on Pascal Wehrlein. They start on this. Those two will be starting the same row as each other for the second time in a row. 17th was George Russell, who got the better of Danny Kvyat. He starts down in 18th place, with the Russian's future in doubt. And down at the back was Nico Rosberg with a 10th-place penalty for changing part of his engine. And Esteban Ocon was slowest of all. Now it's time for the race of today's British Grand Prix. So, hello there everyone and welcome back to another video of Final Fantasy Formula 1 2019. Today we are doing episode number 12 here for the British Grand Prix. Sort of really the penultimate of the European season, because of course Azerbaijan is the next race and then we go to Asia for the final race in Australia of this season. So all that's going to come this week on the channel. So yes, be prepared for the high frequency of uploads. But here we are in Britain, a circuit that really isn't to my liking. I've not really done very well here in the past. It's not a track that really suits my attributes, unfortunately. But we'll have to wait. We can see what we can do because we've qualified high up the grid in P3.
Right, let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
Thank you, Jeff. And we're here on the grid, P1, P3. Excuse me. One stop is the race. The strategies are doing. Lowering the fuel limit, of course. Although Grand Prix mode, it's a bit more than one thing. This race is actually the only race where you get to see the hard tyre being used. Which we were playing about with the strategy to see what we could use, but we think that the original strategy, stopping on lap 9, looks like the best strategy to go with. So let's get ready for 5 red lights and go! And tyre smoke there from Hulkenberg, as it's once again a dismal start, although we should get remaining P3 ahead of Hamilton. Got a warning with Gasly, but as predicted, Perez gets a jump on Hulkenberg. His weapon with Gasly, that's his AI being not thinking about the corner. I had Hamilton on my inside, which I don't want to give much room out. And Gasly actually lost out to Ricciardo anyway. So yes. Later on lap 1, Hulkenberg and Perez has already opened a little bit of gap to Hulkenberg, and they've already opened a little bit of gap back to myself. Hamilton's having a look around the inside. He's banging wheels with us, and that allows Ricciardo to go through. So Hamilton really is not happy with this. Although that partly is my fault, because we got caught up a little bit on the curb. Now we're going to have a little look at Ricciardo's going out. So we actually take a little bit to the grass there, but Ricciardo doesn't follow through on his overtake, and that allows Hamilton to come back through. Going to lap 3 now. Ricciardo has unfortunately lost out to Gasly and Van Dorn, and he's now fighting against Charles Leclerc, the championship leader, although probably won't be with Sergio Perez winning the race, because he's only got 1 point lead. And this is Pierre Gasly. He's actually doing well. He's fallen into the gap behind us now after a shaky start, although not anymore, because he is out the race with engine failure. Such a shame for the Frenchman. So that promoted Stoffel Van Dorn to P5, and we started to get a little bit away from Hamilton now, and maybe he had damage from banging his wheels or something, but he does actually close back up to us on P5, so maybe he was just hauling his tyres a little bit. And of course he's brought Van Dorn and Leclerc, and Hamilton's going to I think he made a little bit of contact there with us. Again, we got caught up on the rumble strip, but really 50-50 again, because he should have given us more room. So yes, and of course Hamilton gives up the position when I say doesn't go through. I think he's got damage actually, because Van Dorn is going through into Maggots and Beckett's as we follow this straight camera angle from the curb itself. Also, what's happening is Nico Rosberg, because he had a new engine, but that new engine has done absolutely no wonders for him, because it's an engine failure, smoking out the rear, and he's out the race. So now Hamilton is even lost out to Ricciardo and Leclerc. Verstappen has got in front, so Hamilton seriously must have some form of damage. Leclerc now is battling against Van Dorn. He's now the lead Ferrari. Despite starting from P8, he is the championship leader, so I expect him to come through the field. And he is up now up into P4, so he's made up 4 places. And of course he's going to having a look at us as we get a little bit out of shape going through turn 1 and 2, and Leclerc, but Van Dorn isn't really going to give up. He's fighting for his place at Red Bull, and he's not going to give up that easily. And he's going to have a go back down the inside of the Ferrari driver, back into Maggots and Beckett's, although it isn't going to get the position. Although he's going to have DRS. It's going to be Honda against Ferrari here, and Honda of course going to bow out the end of the season to make way for whichever, presumably Aston Martin, but that's yet to be totally confirmed. So we come into the pits at lap 9 now. So yes, we haven't lost anybody else. Van Dorn only has fallen behind Ricciardo, so as well. So nobody else is coming in, which means we shall not get held up in our pit stop. Although I expect it to be around 2.9 seconds. Exit now. 2.9 seconds exactly. There we go. We've got Verline and Ocon, and that and will come out in 18th and last place. Verline and Ocon though should come in soon, because of course everybody should be doing the one stop going for soft and mediums. Nobody's doing the reverse strategy. Next we come to move at lap 11. Van Dorn has been in the pits, and he has come out he has actually jumped us, as has Charles Leclerc. So the overcut has worked here. Though we do manage to get the move done on the outside of Van Dorn, as Van Dorn presumably had a bit cold tyres, but we beautiful move outside turn to the inside, and that of course made us in. But moving to lap 4, unfortunately Leclerc has moved on, so he's going to have P3. Van Dorn now and Verstappen have swapped places. Those two are now fighting with us for P4 this Grand Prix, so we've lost a position here. Verstappen though locks up now and allows Van Dorn back through, so those two are fighting. Behind us, a long way behind now, is Lewis Hamilton, who is holding everybody up. There's Bottas in there, and I think a couple of other Mercedes. Vettel, as Bottas goes through, I think Sainz is in there as well, or not, and Ricciardo. So all of them going through. Our teammate K-Mag is going through. Sergio Perez sets a fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:30.945. That's 1.3 seconds faster than us. This Perez is steaming towards the championship lead at this rate, no matter how much Leclerc can do. So I've only got Van Dorn. Verstappen unfortunately developed an engine. I think he's got a mechanical issue, as Van Dorn is locked up going in at the end of the straight. Get what straight this is called. We did squeeze him, but yes, he locked up, went off. Is he going to come out behind his teammate? No, he's going to fall behind Ricciardo actually, and he is going to resume behind his teammate in front of Kevin Magnussen, who is all of them have overtaken now Lewis Hamilton, who has fallen right down the order. So yes, that was actually the race. Ricciardo did actually manage to catch us up, which is interesting. He does have a little bit of pace, although we do have enough on the straights we seem to have the better air on the straights. So Nico Hülkenberg gets the one of the fastest lap, but it's literally too late, because Sergio Perez has won the Grand Prix from Nico Hülkenberg. Another to add to Perez's collection, and indeed for his bid to win his first World Championship title. Ricciardo though is going to have a late lunge on us around the outside. We are going to go hold it back on the inside, take a little bit to the grass, and we're going to force the Australian out, and he'll have to settle for a brilliant, which will actually be a good result for McLaren recently, P5, but for us it's P4. It could have been a lot better. So yes, moving to the results. Perez won the Grand Prix. Hülkenberg got fastest lap, although was 7 seconds down from the Mexican in the end. Leclerc was third, and myself was fourth, 42 seconds behind Perez. Daniel Ricciardo finished fifth, good result for him, and K-Mag got overtook Van Dorn in the end. He finished a good result in sixth place. Van Dorn 7th, Hamilton with that damage from our collision in 8th, Giovinazzi 9th as well. Max Verstappen with that mechanical failure, he outside the top 10, as are the two Mercedes, who at one point or other were in the top 10. Bottas getting the better of Vettel. Raikkonen was 14th. Russell, and then of course we've got the usual suspects: Russell, Kvyat, Verline, and Ocon, with of course Rosberg and Gasly not finishing, denting their late championship coats. So yes, moving to the championship, Perez now has a 9-point lead over Charles Leclerc. I overtake Hamilton now on race victories, because I have 2 from Monaco and Belgium compared to Hamilton's 1 on from Germany. Then, of course, Rosberg, Gasly, Verstappen, Bottas and Vettel failed to score. Van Dorn did score, so he moves closer to Vettel, and Hulkenberg also jumps big time. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, literally there is a bit of change. We move up into P3 ahead of Mercedes. Mercedes are now only 1 point ahead of Red Bull. Judging by Mercedes' recent form, don't be surprised if they finish down in P6. But there is a bit of a cushion to McLaren. So yes, I expect Mercedes to finish in 6th, and then Red Bull, ourselves, and Renault to fight it out for P3. So yes, that's going to be it for today's episode of Final Fantasy F1. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more episodes of Final Fantasy F1, which will all be released before F1 2019 comes out on Tuesday. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.